Waiting on the live thing to go. Finally. Okay, got that. Got that. And then just real quickly. Swain's here. Swain got here first. Okay. Okay, everybody's about to go live. I'm going to wait and allow people's audio to connect, but good morning. I'm Judge Person, so I'll be a little repetitive till that happens. I do want to welcome everybody to court this morning, and I thank everybody for being here. We have a number of folks who need to be seen, and we're still allowed to do the Zoom by agreement. So hopefully everybody's comfortable. And I know it's not everybody's thing to do every day, but just think you could be in line waiting in a courtroom, and instead you get to be a little more comfortable. So we'll continue to try to make this work out for as long as people voluntarily want to handle things this way and get information this way. Otherwise, we can just schedule you to come on into court. So I do welcome everybody to court this morning. I'm Judge Person. I'm going to make some announcements, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get Mr. Swain. Let me get you started with Mr. Matson, the city's prosecutor. Before I do that, Mr. Matson, could you go ahead and unmute and introduce yourself to the group?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ryan Matson. I'm the prosecutor for Temple.
So, Mr. Matson, if you're meeting with him today, you're on the pretrial docket. He is not your attorney. He actually represents the state of Texas, the city, on the cases that are before the court. And he's the equivalent of a DA at the city level. Mr. Matson, I'm going to go ahead and start you with Mr. Swain with Ira Brown's case, since I know y'all know the drill I'm about to give. And Mr. Miller, I'll do that with you too shortly.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. So I do want to welcome everybody to court. I also have a person on the telephone, and it's a 254 area code, and I'm asking that person to unmute. And if I could just ask you to unmute. Hello on the telephone. Can you unmute? 254. And then
Is that me?
I don't know.
Hello?
Hi, on the phone. Yeah. What is your name?
Noel Patton.
What's the last name?
Patton, Patton.
I gotcha. Okay. Mr. Patton, we'll be with you shortly. What happens with folks on the phone is that sometimes they sort of tune out and don't realize that they're on the phone. And so what I want you to do is just keep listening for your name to be called, because I'll call it soon, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to remute you, but I'll ask you to unmute again when it's your turn. And I'm Judge Person, and it's not a problem to be on the phone. It just presents a slight challenge because it's not uncommon to tune it out and then you don't hear your name. So I'll call you shortly, okay?
All right.
Okay. Okay, so I do want to let everyone know that when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have under the law for accusing someone. That is what a ticket is. It is an accusation. And when you give a plea, you're giving an answer or a response to that accusation. And there are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. If you plead guilty, you're admitting the offense. You're saying, I did this. If you plead not guilty, you're contesting it, which ultimately means we're moving that case toward trial. I'll talk more about that in a moment. If you plead no contest, you're not admitting it, but you're also not denying it. You're allowing the case to move forward into sentencing. And if you plead guilty or no contest, I'm going to accept your plea and move into sentencing. Excuse me, I needed some water. So what I'll tell you is that if we're moving into sentencing, the general rule is that you're found guilty, it goes on your record, you pay the fines and costs. Now, there are some exceptions to that, and I'm going to talk about those in a moment. I did ask for income information before the meeting today, and I did that on both lists. I'm working through two lists of people right now. People who are contesting the charge and people who might not be or appear not to be. So I'm sorting through a lot of different things, and everybody's case is different. And I will look at your case individually in a moment. These are general remarks. Okay. I just think it's better if folks know how things move through a court before we get started, because I get a lot of the same questions, and I don't mind questions, but you will get tired of me before you lose patience. If you don't lose patience, if I'm repeating myself a lot of spiel, the same thing over and over again. So I just do it once now, and then your individual questions you can ask when you get, an opportunity when it's your turn. So I found that it just works better to do it that way. But I did get income information, as I said, from everyone. I asked everyone to fill that out. One is on the sentencing docket and the other is on the contested docket. And they are for two different purposes. One is for sentencing. If you're contesting it, you're not being sentenced, obviously, unless you were found guilty. And so you may not be found guilty. So I don't know, who's guilty and who's not. I'm just facilitating. That's what judges, they do. And then we're called on at trial to sit in judgment at times. But most of the time we're doing this, we're facilitating. And I did ask for income information for folks who were on the contested docket to look at in connection with setting a bond to secure your appearance at trial, which we're probably looking at doing at some point. So I'm just trying to get the same information for two different purposes because I'm supposed to. So that's the reason why you were given forms to fill out before we got set up today. Mr. Mattson, I see Mr. Swain are back in the room. Let me go ahead and take that up with you. There are two charges from December 14th of 2016. One is a speeding charge and the other a violation of the promise to appear. The speeding has fines and costs of $440, $460. So due to the passage of time and the lack of appearance, that we probably have that high level of fines and costs and warrant fees and collection fees and so forth. And then there is a single charge of violating the promise to appear, and that one is $334.20. Where are we with those two matters? If I could get a check-in, please.
Your Honor, the violate promise to appear charge, I'm going to dismiss that since Mr. Swain is here.
Okay.
And on the speeding charge, he's going to take an offer back to his client. So we're going to reconvene sometime prior to final pretrial.
Okay. When is final pre-trial set on this case? There's nothing here.
Actually don't have a date yet, Judge.
Okay. October 5th.
October 5th.
So I'm just going to reset it all to that date until I hear back from y'all. I'm not going to do that dismissal yet. I'll take the warrant out of play, but I'd rather just move it all at the same time. So scheduling final pretrial for October 5th. Both matters are just being scheduled. I will sign that dismissal at a later date, depending on where we are with the case. I don't have a problem. It's not that I'm having a problem with it, but I just don't see a point in doing a bunch of paperwork right now when one case is still going to be reset. So let's just chunk it all forward and get resolved before or appear here on October 5th.
Understood.
Judge.
Okay. Any questions about that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Swain, you're good to withdraw without further request unless you have questions.
No, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
Okay, you're good to go. Mr. Miller, I'm going to move you into that meeting with the prosecutor at this time. And so then what I'll do is just let folks know, and I have somebody coming in late. I'm going to go ahead and let them in. And I'll check in on who that is in a short moment once I see their audio is connected. So I do want to go ahead and just Okay, sorry, phone caller, I just let you into the meeting and there's a number of people ahead of you. We kind of have a queue. I've been keeping track, but I need to know your name.
I'm Holly Miller.
Okay, Miss Miller, weren't you on before already? You're on two ways. Oh, you're getting your,
Yeah,
you're getting your.
yeah,
audio.
but I couldn't hear anything.
Okay, that's fine. We're not too far in on the announcements, but I'll go ahead and change your name on the screen, but I already have you logged in as far as like, the order that you're gonna get seen. Your
Okay,
whatever your smart device is, it's not connecting to audio, so the phone works fine. If your audio also doesn't work, I mean your video, then
hold on.
yeah, I see you now. I can see you and hear you on two different.
Okay,
devices.
for some reason you keep coming in and out.
That's because you're on two devices.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
and
I barely can hear you too.
I can't control that. I've got the volume up as loud as I can make it.
Okay,
So maybe work on your end to get it louder. Part of the problem is that I cannot be an IT person for people.
I understand. That's why.
Part of the problem is because you have two devices trying to stream the same information, you're going to get conflicts. It's canceling itself out.
Okay,
Why don't you hang up your, I'm going to hang up your visual device so that we can have a verbal conversation.
okay,
Just stay on that other device.
okay.
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to be worse. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward with announcements. And I just want to let folks know what their dismissal options are, because that's a question people typically have. And then we're going to move forward. So pretty often people want to know, is there an option to being found guilty? Can I maybe, get the charge dismissed? And the answer is that state law provides for several dismissal options, but it has to fall into one of these categories or it isn't eligible. So there are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. Compliance dismissals are things that can be brought up to date and dismissed. If you have something like that, I will definitely be talking to you about that. You're welcome to ask about it, but those are things like, getting a case dismissed because you had a blinker that was broken and you were cited for the broken blinker and you get the blinker fixed. So it's things that can be brought up to date and dismissed by law. And if you have something like that, what you can expect is that I will talk to you about it. I'll start trying to get you to that dismissal. You're welcome to ask about it. I'm probably not waiting for the question. Okay. Moving violations can be brought up to date. Moving violations can be dismissed through a driver safety course. You have to take the course and get your driving record turned in, the proper course, the proper record at the proper time. If you qualify to be in that program, you'll be expected to show license, insurance, and pay the court costs. Every ticket has a court cost and a fine. In the driving safety course option, you pay only the court cost. The fine goes on hold. If you get your course and your record turned in on time, you get your ticket dismissed. It doesn't go on your record as a conviction. And the fine that was on hold gets waived. You don't pay it. So if you have a matter that will allow you to get a dismissal through that driver safety course option, and it looks like you might be qualified, I'll start looking to try to get you to that program. If you don't want to do it, let me know, because nobody can force you to do that. But it is cheaper than paying the ticket, and it keeps it off your record if you're eligible and you complete it. Okay. Now, the third thing is a deferred disposition. Deferred disposition is a fancy legal term that we use. Deferred means delay, disposition to make final. We delay, or I delay, making your case final, convicting you. I put an order in place. It's a written document. That order will explain or list the things that you need to do to gain a dismissal. If you do the things listed, you get a dismissal. It's a guarantee. If you don't do them, you're subject to being convicted. If you want a deferred disposition, you're supposed to make that request of the judge at the time that your plea is being accepted by the court. If your case has yet to be adjudicated, if you haven't been found guilty yet, you can make the request and I can rule on it today. Guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred is how you do that. It was on your written paperwork, but of course, it's sometimes people don't know what that meant. And, honestly, if we explain everything in writing, you would have volumes and volumes to read and you would quickly get tired of it. So that I have to try to strike a balance there. But if you want a deferred and you are eligible and I grant it, then we go that route. So you have to make the request, guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred. And then I'll tell you one way or another. Judges can rule on those in Class C courts directly with or without the prosecutor. If you're meeting with the prosecutor, you may also see if the prosecutor is willing to agree to a deferred. That prosecutor may or may not be willing to do so, but it is something that you can always ask about and check in about. But you're on notice to do that for yourself. Okay. And then the final option for doing a dismissal is if you qualify and you complete teen court. Middle school, high school, or homeschool students are our target group for teen court. So I'll be looking and seeing if you're in high school, middle school, homeschool, heading to a diploma, even a GED, we can look at it as an option. Okay, so those are the 4 ways to gain a dismissal in a Class C court. We're going to start moving through the cases now. Mr. Matson and Mr. Miller, I know we're talking about the Robello or Robello case. Not sure how that person will want their name to be said.
Rebello, Your Honor.
Robello. Thank you, Mr. Miller. And it's a single speeding charge, accusation date of August 5th. The fines and costs are $264. Where are we on that matter?
Judge, we actually had a question about teen court. Is that currently meeting or are we not meeting until later in the year?
So I always do teen court and I do it as appropriate with the tools available at the time. We have a teen court date coming up for October 25th. And that would be meeting. If that time doesn't work for the party, or if they're remote or can't get there for some reason, we can look at, judge and juvenile case manager sentenced teen court. So we have 2 ways of doing that. By far the best in terms of recidivism is the live teen court with other students, but I still make teen court available. I have limited slots for that offense. I mean, for teen court, we just have like 4 to 5 positions that can be filled, but we have openings for that October 25th date. Does that answer your question, gentlemen?
It does, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes.
Do y'all want to go back and talk some more?
No, Mr. Miller is going to take an offer to his client. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page about whether or not teen court was meeting in person.
Okay. Can I then just reschedule for 9/19 on Zoom for this matter?
Absolutely.
That's fine, Judge. Yes.
Okay. We'll see everybody back September 19th to figure out where we're going. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
You bet. Thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Miller, you're good to go unless you have further questions.
No further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Matson, your next person is Tammy Crooks. Tammy Crooks, can you unmute so we know your audio is working?
You hear me?
Yes, it's not great, the connection. We'll try. Okay. Oops. Are you still there? She'll probably dial back in. But Mr. Matson, I'm going to go ahead and Noel Patton is your next person. Noel Patton is on. Oh, there's Miss Crooks. Oh, that's going in and out. Okay, hold on. Miss Crooks, can you unmute? Mr. Patton is unmuted and he's on a phone call. Mr. Patton, Mr. Mattson,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm gonna get with you in a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and move Mr. Patton over to that meeting with Mr. Mattson,
Okay.
because you're going in and out. And when it's your turn, we're gonna try again in a moment, okay? I mean, I actually have the situation where it says you're muted and I can hear you, so it's really very difficult. We'll work together on it in a moment. Yeah, that's probably best. Hang up and try again. Matthew Austin, can you unmute and tell me how you're doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm doing fine.
Nice.
Okay, so I did receive a request for a deferral, but here's the problem that people ask. They say, well, I want a deferral, but I need a payment plan, and deferrals just don't last very long. So I'm willing to grant it. You're not someone I'm going to make take a class in the particular deferral. I wouldn't require the class to be taken if I grant it, but I do need to sort out the payment situation with you. Are you able to pay anything towards your balance today?
I would have to ask my wife. She's the one that deals with the money. She was there currently. The day that we did go into the court.
Remember,
But
we're in court now, and it was pre-scheduled, so I just.
yeah, I mean, what are you asking? I mean, I could figure it out. What would I need to
It's a real simple question. What are you able to pay towards your balance today?
pay?
That's the
$50 started. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm just trying to sort out the terms and conditions of the deferral to see if I can grant it.
Yes,
That's-
ma'am.
That's what I'm doing.
Understood.
And I don't have to grant those. That leaves us with a balance of 214. I could split that into two payments, which would be 107 and 107. I can give you 30 days. Sorry, I'm having a pen problem.
Oh, you're okay.
I can give you 30 days to do the first one, which would be October 5th.
Okay.
And I could give you 30 more days after that to do the second one, which would be November 7th. Those would need to be made on time, and you would need to remain ticket-free, warrant-free, and not miss any court dates if you get scheduled, and keep your address current.
Yes.
The deferral would run from today until January 4th. And as long as you remain ticket-free, didn't get any warrants, arrests, or failures to appear, and paid your 3 payments on time today, October 5th and November 7th, the case would be dismissed after January 4th. Do you accept those terms and conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I need a signature. Can I email it to you and have you sign it? Or are you coming by the court to also do the payment?
Actually, I can do both. I can come by after my call for work in the next half an hour or so and do that.
Okay, let's do this. Let me make this a little easier. Let's say you're going to be here by around 10:30.
That's fine. Yeah.
Your deferral will be at the window and you can sign it and do payment right then and there. If you bring $50 cash or a check, we'll take it.
Okay.
Pay online, you can pay with the clerk or online, but it's just the same difference as far as how it works. You can do it when you're here with a clerk.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you
I
so
don't
much.
want you entering a payment online till your deferred is set up. So just wait till you get here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The deferred is granted with those conditions. We'll have everything at the window when you get here. You can expect it to take maybe 5 minutes once you get here. It's quick and simple.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And then you'll have a copy of the deferred with full signatures at that point. You just make sure you don't have any questions. Should be pretty straightforward. Just read it real quickly. The ones that apply to you are checked off.
Okay.
Once you do that, then you'll have the order that controls how to gain a dismissal. Okay?
All right. Sounds good. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Patton, we're back in the room with you, and let's see where we are with your case with Mr. Mattson.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we're going to continue to final pretrial, but there is a good chance this case is resolved before that date.
Okay, well, remember everybody that final pretrial is going to be September 20th. unless it's already been set. I don't see a setting on here. That's here live in the court. And, right. and
September 20th, Your Honor?
September 20th here in the court.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Mattson, let's work a little more with Ms. Crooks because she had to hang up and try again. Oh, Ms. Crooks, are you driving?
I tried to just drive to a place where I get better internet. I'm sorry. I'm stopping right now.
Yeah, I can't have you be driving illegally on court.
No, ma'am, I'm not. I'm right.
It is
I'm in a
illegal. It's illegal to drive with a video running.
I'm parked in a parking lot to get better reception. So
I
I'm sitting-
understand that you feel like you need to do that, but please don't do that because it's a crime. Please don't commit a crime on screen.
to be in the car. You're telling me that can I be in the car right now? Stop.
You can be wherever you want to be. What you can't do is drive with a video running and be on a video call.
I see. Okay.
If
I'm not,
you do it-
not driving.
you don't need to
I'm
argue.
still-
I'm just letting you know why I will kick you out of the meeting if you do it again. Please stop and just,
Sure. Yes,
it's
ma'am.
a crime. It's a dangerous thing to do. And I don't want to watch an accident and a crime on my court. I don't think I should have to tell.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. It really is a problem. We don't want to watch you get injured.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
You're going over to a meeting with the prosecutor. Heavens to Betsy, people, please. Yes. Thank you. Hold on just a moment. Okay. Let's see. Stephanie Boatman, can I have you unmute and tell me how you're doing today?
Okay. I'm doing okay. I got the 7, I mean, I had 8 hours of community service. I got the 4. I was going to do the next 4 Saturday and get that turned in. If I could just have 1 week to get that done, I'll be good.
Okay. I'm
I
probably,
meant to get it before, but I had lost the paper and because I was moving and because I'm now homeless. So it's just been kind of a hectic time, but I'll get it done this coming Saturday, and then I'll turn it in that following Monday.
okay. I did get your note and I see there's a lot of chaos. I'm sorry you're going through that.
That's okay. but I'll get it done. I'm sorry. I meant to get it done before, but I forgot it was Labor Day weekend. So
Where are you doing the work?
TTLC or what is it? The one on Avenue G,
Okay.
the food bank there.
Okay. I don't have that order, but I
I was
will.
gonna go today, but I don't know if I'll get over there in time before the
Okay, I'm
rush.
gonna, I'll put it in writing in a moment, but I'll extend you to September 19th. That's 2 weeks.
Perfect.
Not enough time.
Perfect. That'd be great. I'll
That's,
get it before then.
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Hang
Thank you so
in there.
much.
It sounds like things are starting to improve from you working
Yes.
hard to pull it back up. So,
Yes.
I understand, and I'm gonna give you that extra time.
Thank you.
Well, can we email you a new timesheet?
Yep.
You don't have to use it. You can use the old one, but it'll have your due date at the top, okay?
Okay, great.
Okay, we'll email you an extra one.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Boatman.
Can I leave now or do I stay or?
You're good to
Okay.
go. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Okay, I am moving forward with Michael Mays. If you could unmute, tell me how you're doing and get on screen perhaps.
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing good.
Hey there. Are you, you're at Edwards, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're 17, so you can be here alone, but do you have an adult with you?
I'm close to my counselor. My mom's at work.
That's fine. I just want to acknowledge them if they're here. Okay, and you work also, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you're paying for gas and insurance. Good for you. So you are charged with a speeding charge, okay? And I did receive a plea of guilty and a request for teen court. The accusation was 31 and a 20. Let me back up a little before we go all the way to teen court just yet. I'm not going to have a problem with the request, but I want to confirm, did you understand the options for pleading guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Not 100%, but I'm not gonna say I wasn't wrong. But I had asked the lady before I signed anything, and she just told me, no contest and guilty were kind of the same thing, but it wouldn't make anything worse.
Okay, so let me clarify that for you. Okay, I'm glad you asked. And just always remember, clerks and judges for that matter, we can't give legal advice, but I can explain to you how the law works, which is a different type of thing. So guilty, you're saying I did this, you're just admitting it. Okay, no contest is not admitting it, but it's not denying it either. With no contest, it allows me to sentence you, but without admitting or denying the offense. If you plead not guilty, you're taking that case in it. That's just a different direction, and you have the right to have a trial. And, we would move that into a trial setting. But in the instance here where I receive a plea of guilty, that would be saying I did this. No contest would be saying I'm not contesting it. There's a difference, but she wasn't wrong in what she said to you, because if you plead guilty or no contest, we're going to move in the same direction. It's a question of, what your personal feeling about that is. So if you're moving into sentencing and that's what you want to do, I do that on guilty or no contest both, and I treat it the same way. If you're contesting it, you have the right to do that, and we move that case over, heading toward trial possibility.
Okay. Yes,
Does
ma'am.
that make more sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. Okay, so I'm just going to back up and say you're charged, you're accused of going 31 and a 20. If you pay that ticket, the fines and costs are $279. I'm still going to honor your teen court request if I can, but how are you pleading to that charge?
Guilty.
Okay, I'll accept your plea and we'll look at teen court. Teen court is a way to do sentencing without and getting a dismissal. Okay. And I have a $20 teen court fee. Can you pay that fee today
Yes, ma'am.
in cash? Can you do it at the window?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you're working and you're at Edwards. I actually know the Edwards Academy really well because I had a family member attend there. So I know that sometimes you're there because you need to be working, and sometimes you're even maybe supporting and helping family. Is that your situation?
Me, as far as the working and supporting family, not really. I'm just doing it for myself and getting, you could say that because I don't want my mom paying my car bill, so I do it for that.
As a mom, I'm completely, I honor that. So cool. But I'm trying to figure out what's going to work better if we do sentencing today or if we go on into the teen court program. I think the best option, do we have a case manager available? The best option would be for a case manager to just visit with you and figure out what's going to work best as far as what your sentence should look like. And we really try to tailor that to stuff that's going on for you, like work and school. So when can you be here to pay that $20 fee and meet with the case manager?
I could go today around 3:15.
Okay, that will work. So I'm just basically making an appointment for you to meet with the juvenile case manager today at 3:15. You'll come in, and what's going to happen is that you will talk with Ms. Knies, and she and you together will come up with an agreement that I will sign. If y'all can agree
Okay, yes,
on
ma'am.
what your sentence should look like. And that way we're taking into account just whatever's going on in your life. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll see you at 3:15. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, just come to the window where you came before to fill out your paperwork. And
Okay.
say, I'm here to meet with the juvenile case manager, the JCM.
Okay.
Okay, all right. We'll see
All
you
right,
then.
thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mr. Mays.
bye.
You take care.
You too, man. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Matson, I'm trying to move Ms. Crooks back over from that meeting. While I'm waiting, I'm just organizing a little. Okay, where are we on the Crooks case?
Your Honor, we're going to continue to final pretrial, but there's a
Okay.
chance this case is resolved before then.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and schedule final pretrial here in the court for September 20th. At what time? At 1 o'clock. And we will just all plan to be here unless I get paperwork that allows me to remove it from the docket. Okay?
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
Everybody then. Thank you.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Matson, I would move you forward now to Christy Richards. Christy Richard. There we go. And so I will move you over to that meeting with the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I too am moving forward with Devon Mishak. Can you unmute and tell me how you're doing?
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Thank you for asking. These are cases that have incurred a warrant, which we can get to the bottom of today, I'm pretty sure. January 15th is the accusation date. And there is a charge of expired motor vehicle registration. The fines and costs are $430.30. And I did receive a plea of expired motor vehicle registration. I received a plea of guilty. And then one of the reasons I set the meeting was because then I received a request to get the license, the driver's license, which is not, it's not really connected to the registration charge. So I wasn't sure if we were on the same page, but what is your plea? Is that your plea guilty? Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
And then on the insurance, I received the same plea and the same request, a plea of guilty to the no insurance charge. Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I know you're looking for work right now. Is that still the status that was just a few weeks ago that you could do?
Yes, ma'am. I have to call him as soon as the interview is over with. He's supposed to be lining me up with a job, hopefully today or tomorrow.
Okay. Well, right now, what I would do is order that the fines and costs be worked off through community service.
Okay.
And that turns into 43 hours. That includes both cases together. I'm going to go ahead and give you a due date of November 7th.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a list of places where you can do the work. They include the city of Temple. If you work with the city, they do request or require that you sign a waiver. So that's going to be something that you sign today.
Okay.
And you won't be arrested coming to court, but I do need you to come by and just sign off on the paperwork. What time?
Yes, ma'am.
What time can you be here?
I can be there. What time is it? I can be there around 11:30.
Okay. We'll see you at the window at 11:30.
Yes,
Once
ma'am.
you sign that waiver, I'll recall your warrants. And what's controlling at that point is our next due date, which is November 7th. If you haven't turned it all in by then, you need to come in and talk to someone about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Because now you don't want to go back to warrant because it'll increase your fines and costs. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
But this is if you work off the fines and costs through community service, it's fully resolved at that point.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm accepting your plea. I'm finding you guilty. I'm ordering fines and costs as payment instead of payment. Okay.
Okay.
You'll have a timesheet to keep track of your hours. You'll have a list of places to choose from, and you'll have some directions to help you know how to get started, okay?
Okay.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Do you have any questions, Mr. Mishak, at this time?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay, if you do, when you get here, after you read everything, either a clerk can answer or they can direct you back to me and set you back up with a meeting in case we need it, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll see you soon.
All right. You have a blessed day.
Thank you. You're free to go at this time.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ms. Miller, we'll be with you shortly. You're next, okay? Okay. Ashley Brittany is coming in. Miss Brittany or Miss Ashley, excuse me, can you unmute?
Hello.
Hi, can you get on screen?
Hello.
Hello, good morning. I'm Judge Person. How are you today?
I'm good. Sorry, I work overnight and I get off work at 7 a.m. and I fell asleep.
Okay. There's a single charge of no insurance from August 9th. The fines and costs are $281. I did receive a plea in the May. I received a plea of no contest to that charge. Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you insured at the time of the stop?
No, I do have insurance now.
How quickly did you get insurance?
Um,
Was it the same day?
not super fast. It was over a week, I think.
Okay, yeah, state law
Over a week.
State law doesn't provide for any kind of dismissal of that. I will accept your plea and enter a conviction. Do you, I'm sorry, I did receive a request for a deferral. And then I got a payment application that made no sense. What you told me under oath is that you have $4,490 in expenses and you have income that is half of that amount. How are you dealing with your bills?
My ex-boyfriend, I guess, not ex-husband, the partner I was with for 8 years that I have 6 children with. He pays my bills.
And in your position, you're paid once a month. That's what you told me.
No, I'm paid twice a month, sorry.
What
That
is
was the amount I make monthly.
What does your paycheck look like when you're paid?
I get like between $800 and $1,000 2 times a month.
What day of the week are you paid?
On a Friday.
It always on a Friday?
Yes.
Okay, that's actually considered to be bi-weekly. Still, I see, here's the thing, I've got to figure out fines and costs. And I'm seeing like a real difficulty doing community service because there's a lot of children and work. And there's nothing wrong with any of that, but I can order community service. If I ordered community service though, I don't know how you would make time to do it, but it would be 14 hours. And that would be instead of payment. I could give you a month to do it. And that would be part of your deferral. And then you would need to remain ticket free for the whole deferral period, which would be from today until January 4th. You would need to get your community service turned in on time. And I would just need to see the current insurance. Think about that for just a moment and stay handy. I'm going to work with Mr. Matson to just move him forward because he was meeting with someone, and I just want to give you a moment to think it over. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Matson and Miss Richards or Richard, where are we on this matter that is before the court, which is a single speeding charge?
We're going to continue to final pretrial, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to just set that for September 20th.
Judge, is there any way that we can set that a different date? I am unable to be off that day.
How about October 5th?
That's better.
1 o'clock? 9 o'clock, sorry, 9 in the morning.
All right.
That's what I've got. Can you do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll set it for that time then, and we'll all be here at that point.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Matson, I'm going to move you forward with Holly Miller. Miss Miller, can you unmute? There we go.
Okay, I'm here. All right. Can I just change my plea right now?
How are you pleading? It's a single charge of speeding and the fines and costs.
No contest deferral.
You're requesting a deferral
Yes, ma'am.
since the state is here and they are prepared for that case. I just need to check in. Mr. Matson, with the deferral request, does the state have any objection at this time?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, I'm inclined to grant it. Okay, so just real quickly, Ms. Miller, hold on, I wasn't quite expecting, so give me just a second. It's fine. It just takes me a minute to catch up.
Well, I was listening to everything else, and so I was like, I don't want to go through all this other stuff. We'll just do that route.
Okay, that's fine too. Let's see. So you have a son at home with you, is that right?
Oh, no, he just left for college,
Okay,
but I'm still supporting him.
yeah, I understand. I have those myself.
She just asked me basic stuff, but I do Uber and Lyft on the side. So I do have the income. I can make the payments. I just need to make it in two.
Okay. Can you pay anything towards your balance today?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, what can you pay today towards your balance?
Okay, I can probably pay half.
Okay, half, if we do that, just check in with us about this, is $129.50. Is that possible?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in a month, can you pay the remainder?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that date is going to be October 5th. And this is not one where I would normally require driver safety. Just a simple deferred, no class, but payment on time, no convictions, warrants, or additional charges during the period of the deferral. Do you accept those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it would end January 4th. I need to have you sign the document, and it looks like you appear to be a local person. Can you come by the court today, do that payment, and make signature and get your copy of your deferral at the same time?
Yes, ma'am. I can come by later before I go to work.
Okay, what time is going to work best for you? Let me see if it works for the court.
I could probably come around 2.
2 would be fine. We'll have everything at the window for you when you get here. It shouldn't take more than about 5 minutes once you get here, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Miss Miller.
Thank you.
You're good.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Matson, seeing no further persons on your docket, unless you need something from the court, I'm wrapping up with Miss Ashley, and could talk to you if you have need. What say you?
I have nothing pending at this time, Your Honor. I did want to make sure that Samuel Duran Medina, was he on
Yeah.
today's docket?
You know what? He's a homeless person. Can you remain on the line?
I
I
can.
want to call him after I talked with Ms. Ashley. So just hang out. I'll be right back with you.
Can do.
Thank you. Okay. Can you unmute, ma'am?
Hi.
Okay, so community service is one of the ways that we could do that payment. The other option I would have would be to do a reduction and have you pay into payments. If I did that, it would be 181. And instead of 281, and I could make that into two payments of $90.50 each, and I could give you some time. So what do you say? What's going to be a best fit for you? Because you know your situation far better than I do.
The payments I could do if I had some time.
Okay, so the first one, I'm going to do a reduction.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Letting the clerk know she is doing a deferral, but I'm doing a reduction first. Let me give her a moment to get set up for everything I'm making her do, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Asking for her to do is the better way to put it. And then once we do that reduction, it would be $90.50 October 5th, and then $90.50 November 7th. And you said you already got the insurance, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long is that policy for?
I know I pay 213 monthly, so I'm assuming it's monthly.
Okay, so I'll want to see insurance on today and then bring it in again with you October 5th and bring it in again with you November 7th.
Okay.
I'll write that out. Okay, we're getting your deferred paperwork ready. Okay, I'll grant the deferred. Can you come by today to sign and get copies of everything? It's actually kind of critical that we do this today.
Yeah.
I should really asked you what time can you be here?
Yeah. What time do you guys close?
So I would ask people to be here before 4 at the latest, because there's a lot going on at closing time. If you show up at closing time, it's chaotic.
Yeah, I totally can come. I forgot I'm using someone else's.
Okay, what time today?
Let's see, 9:58. I can come at 2:00.
Okay. You can have children with you in the lobby, so if that, I know you've got a lot of young people that you get to care for, so you can have young people with you. It's just keep, they can be here. It's fine.
Okay.
We'll see you at 2.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Matson, I'm going to go ahead and call Samuel Duran and see if we can get him. He may have had trouble, figuring it out.
Hello?
Hi, Samuel Duran Medina, is this you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, it's Judge Person with the City of Temple.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hi, you have court right now and you're not here. So I wanted to reach out because I know you have some challenges right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So do you know how to call in for the meeting? Because part of this is to meet privately with the prosecutor. And I can schedule you to just come into court if that's better. But otherwise, I would say we gave you some written directions for dialing in. Can you do it? Or is there a problem today?
I can actually come by today. I'm gonna get a ride a little bit later on.
Yeah,
Like
court,
in 2 hours, I could be there.
yeah, court is right now though, and we're about to wrap up. We're done. We started at 9 o'clock.
Okay, do I need to find a ride right now?
No, I'm gonna reschedule you for September 20th at 9 in the morning. Okay, here live at the court.
Okay, so September 20th, I'm gonna put it in my calendar right now. So that I know. I forgot to put this on my calendar, but I remember now. I can't believe I forgot it.
Well, we're just gonna reset you instead of taking it out on you, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna see you September 20th at 9, but you must be here, okay?
Yes, ma'am, I will be there. I put it in my calendar.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Duran Medina. We'll see you then.
All right, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I appreciate the reach out.
Thank you. Yes. Bye-bye. Okay, I think that's a better option. He has an Austin telephone number and a Temple address, and then he wrote homeless. So I think it's just better than to try to figure out how to get him into a meeting and privately with you. Let's just bring him on in.
I think that's a good compromise as well.
Yeah, it's too much. When he said I can get a ride now, I thought, oh goodness, let's just start over. Okay. All right. Any further questions or anything else going on with you?
That was the only one I had this morning, Your Honor.